Om Vakratunda
ॐ
Mahakaya
वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय
Surya Koti
सूर्यकोटि
Samaprabha
समप्रभ
Nirvignam
निर्विघ्नं
Kurume
कुरु मे
Deva
देव
Sarvakaryeshu
सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा
Sarvada Saraswati
सरस्वती
Namastubhyam
नमस्तुभ्यं
Varade
वरदे
Kamarupini
कामरूपिणी
Vidyarambham
विद्यारम्भं
Karishyami
करिष्यामि
Siddhir
सिद्धिर्भवतु मे
Bhavatu
सदा
Me Sada Gurur Brahma
गुरुर्ब्रह्मा
Gurur Vishnu
गुरुर्विष्णुः
Gurudevo
गुरुदेवो
Maheshwaraha
महेश्वरः
Guru
गुरु
Sakshat
साक्षात् परं
Param
ब्रह्म
Brahman Tasmai
तस्मै
Shri Gurave
श्रीगुरवे
Namaha
नमः ॐ
Om
सहना
Sahana
भवतु
Bhavatu
सहनौ
Sahano
भुनक्तु
Bhunaktu
सह वीर्यं
Sahaviryam
करवावहै
Karavavahe Tejasvidha
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा
Vadhitamastu
विद्विषावहै
Om
ॐ
Shanti
शान्ति
Shanti
शान्तिः
Shanti Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha
ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः
Atha Chaturthodhyayah
अथ चतुर्थोऽध्यायः
Shri Bhagavanuvacha
श्रीभगवानुवाच
Shloka number 13 Chaturvarnyam Maya Srishtam
चार्ध्रुवन्यं मया सृष्टम्
Gunakarma Vibhagashaha
गुणकर्मविभागशः
Tasya Kartaramaphi Mam
तस्य कर्तारमभिमाम्
Vidya Kartaramavvyayam
विद्यकर्तारमव्ययम्
Chaturvarnyam, the fourfold divisions which seen in the society is created by me based on the divisions of guna and karma. May you know me to be the karta. At the same time, I am not the karta. Aham avyayam. I am changeless. Only that which changes can be a karta. Kartrutvam changes because karma changes. When I see, I am the seer. When I smell, I am the smeller. When I touch, I am the toucher. When I walk, walker. So based on the karma, I become that ER, karta changes. Karta means kartrutvam. Karta doesn't change, but because of the action, there seems to be the doer of that action, smeller, toucher. It's the same karta, but depending on the karma. Depending on the karma, he is the person. The person becomes the doer, worker, etc. based on karma. But karta is changes. Karta also, of course, the karta undergoes change to become to do that karma. He has to walk. He has to walk means he has to take steps. Smell. The smelling action is involved. So that some change happens so that the smell is recognized. So some change happens. That's why karta. Based on karma, that different karmas are there, therefore different years, lower, walker, eater. So change happens in doing a karma. Karma implies change. There is no changeless karma. Karma means there is change. Action. Action is movement. Movement involves a change. So yaha karta saha vyayaha bhavati. Yat vyayam. That alone can become, that alone can do karma, karta. So karta undergoes change. Vyeti. Akarta na vyeti. So aham avyayam ishvaraha akarta. Iti viddhi mam viddhi. So from the standpoint of the Jagat, I am the karta. At the same time, we know me to be the akarta, the adhisthana of the jagat. Aham, avyayam, do not undergo any change. Not undergoing any change, aham akarta becomes karta. Akarta, aham, akarta aham from the standpoint of the paramarthika drishtya, aham akarta. Paramarthika drishtya from the standpoint of the atma, aham akarta. From the standpoint of the upadhi, aham karta. Upadhi drishtya karta, paramarthika drishtya akarta. Upadhi undergoes change. But Ishvara Upadhi is Maya. Maya Upadhi. Maya is as Upadhi, it is a material cause that undergoes change, Parinami Karanam. So therefore, but Ishvara is not Maya Dinaha. Maya is Ishvara Dinaha. Ishvara doesn't depend on Maya. Maya has its Ashraya in Ishvara. Because of Maya, Ishvara seems to be doing karma, seems to be the karta. It is not real kartrutvam. That's why he said it is badita kartrutvam. It is sublated karta. Ishvara knows Maya to be Supadhi, not under the influence of Maya. Maya is Ishvara Dinaha. Maya depends on Ishvara, not the other way. Not Ishvara depends on Maya. Jiva is Maya Dinaha. Jiva is influenced by Maya, whereas Ishvara is free from Maya. So therefore, because Jiva is influenced by Maya, yes, Agankara. Agankara is Agankara Abhimana. Agamkarta iti Agankara Abhimana. It is because of the influence of Maya. Ishvara, when he says Agam Karta, though he says Agam, he can say Agam Karta, but not influenced by Maya. That is, Maya is under the influence of Ishvara. Therefore, Ishvara, when he say Agam Akarta, it is that Karta, that Kartrutvam is not real Kartrutvam. It is Ishvara knows when he says Agam Karta means Agam Akarta, Avyayam, Agam Karta. But Jiva says Agam Karta, not knowing the Swarupa, the Chaitanya, Atma cannot do karma. He has got Abhimana with the Upadhi. Therefore, all the dharma of the Upadhi, he takes to be the dharma of himself. Therefore, he becomes Karta, Bhokta, he's a samsari. He's influenced by Maya, that is what we say. It's Maya is under the Vasha of Maya. Jiva, Ishvara is not under the Vasha of Maya. Though Karta is a Karta, whereas Jiva is Karta. Though Jiva is also a Karta, but Kartrutvam is real for a Jiva. Ajnani Jiva. So that is the importance of the second sentence. It's going to be discussed later. So the Kartrutvam of Ishvara or Jnani also, Badita Kartrutvam. It's not real Kartrutvam. When we insert our finger into the fire burns. Who is a Karta? Who burns the finger? Who burnt? We say Agni burnt. If you ask Agni, Agni will say, I didn't. Agni will say, I did not. I did not burn. No, the finger is burnt. Yes, I burned, but I did not burn. I burned, I did not burn. Both. Agni being fire, when you insert your finger into the fire, naturally your finger will be burnt. But Agni did not come voluntarily and burnt your finger. So, therefore, Agni is Karta, Rakarta. Is because of Agni only, because of fire only, the finger is burnt. But at the same time, Agni is Akarta. So Ishvara is like that. Karta, from the standpoint of the Upadhi being Mithya, therefore, Swarupa Drishtya, Paramatika Drishtya, Akarta. So, therefore, Tasya kartaram abhimam vidya kartaram abhim. The seeming contradiction, not real contradiction. That will be resolved. That contradiction, anything which is contradictory has to be resolved. We should not swallow the contradictions. They are all discussed in the Bhashyam, discussed and clarified. So here also we'll see that. Now the nature of the guna. So guna karma vibhaga shaga, it is said. What is it guna? The division of people according to the qualities. That is dharma, guna. The division of people according to the qualities, guna vibhaga. So two types of vibhaga, guna vibhaga, karma vibhaga, based on guna and based on karma. Is found all over the world, not just in India. Guna vibhaga. The qualities upon which this division is based are psychological, meaning they refer to the composition and disposition of the mind. The mind, being Maya Karya, Maya is Trigunatmika Maya, therefore mind also made of three gunas. Because of the predominance of certain guna, the person is called Sattvika or Rajasika or Tamasika. Depends on. So the disposition of the mind. So what will be the disposition of the mind? If the person has Sattva Guna, or if a person has Rajoguna, Tamoguna, we are going to discuss. The division based upon the quality of the mind. All the people do not enjoy the same quality. Quality of the mind depends on what the person is, what he has earned through his karma, either in this Janma, or previous Janma, or whatever, in which Janma before, he just made up him now in this Janma, what he is because of past influence. So therefore, the disposition of the mind. So therefore, the division based upon the quality of the mind, manoguna, is of fourfold. So guna is of threefold, but the disposition of the mind based on the guna is fourfold. As we shall see a little later, we'll see. Guna, there are three types of guna, sattva, rajas, tamas. And based on the disposition of the mind, that is manoguna is fourfold. The gunas or qualities themselves are three in number, sattva, rajas, and tamas, meaning the meanings of which also we shall see. And it is described in the 14th chapter more elaborately. 14th chapter. Everyone has three qualities, and from certain combination of these qualities, four groups are derived. Three gunas and four groups, four dispositions of four types of disposition of the mind, fourfold. One possible combination is of the three guna is sattva, rajas, tamas. A person having a mind and the composition of mind is sattva, rajas, tamas. Sattva, rajas, tamas invariably present in all the beings. Every mind is made of three gunas only. Every being upadhi made of three gunas only. All enjoy three gunas, but depending on what guna dominates. Depending on what guna dominates, there is a difference between persons. The difference between the persons due to the difference in the guna. So one possible combination of the gunas is sattva, rajas, tamas, wherein sattva is predominant, rajas is less predominant, and tamas is the least predominant. So the order is sattva, rajas, tamas. We can take it as the first letter of the words. Yes, sattva, rajas, R, T, tamas. So SRT. SRT. S stands for sattva, R stands for rajas, T stands for tamas. So sattva is dominant, rajas is less, and tamas is least. So this is one possible disposition of the mind, SRT. The second is composition. The four types of manoguna we said, that's now the second type, the composition in the order of predominance of rajas, sattva, tamas. Rajas is dominant. Sattva is less dominant. Tamas is least dominant. Therefore, RST, SRT first. Second manoguna is RST. Similarly, the third composition is rajas, tamas, sattva. RST. Rajas is dominant, tamas is less dominant, and sattva is least dominant. And the fourth is tamas, rajas, sattva. Tamas is dominant, and rajas is less dominant, sattva is least dominant. TRS, so SRT and RST, then RTS, then TRS. These are the four combinations, manoguna. SRT, RST, RTS, TRS. There is no TSR. Sattva cannot be backed up by sattva. It is impossible. Sattva, tamas meaning dullness, ignorance, slothfulness. The ignorance cannot be backed up by sattva. Sattva stands for knowledge. Sattva stands for tranquility, peace of mind, knowledge, nobility. Sattva, sattva-guna. So, a dullness cannot be backed up by a knowledge. A slothfulness cannot be backed up by the clarity, by the knowledge. So, sattva stands for noble qualities. Tamas doesn't stand for noble qualities, opposite. So how can tamas be backed up by sattva? Therefore, always tamas followed by rajas, then followed by sattva. So there is no such combination. So not tamas sattva, not TSR. That's not TSR. Therefore, only these four types of combinations possible. SRT, TS, SRT, RST, RTS, TSR. So these four combinations are the only four compositions possible. There can be shades of each of these four, but a fifth combination is not possible. That could be the difference in the degree of the guna. Different degrees. That is why different people are there of different degrees. Every person is different. It means this degree varies, but the fifth combination is not possible. Always it is like that. Sattva is there backed up by rajas, sattva, rajas is there, rajas, it is backed up by tamas, rajas backed up by tamas, or rajas backed up by sattva. But tamas backed up by sattva, not there. Tamas backed up by sattva, tamas backed up by rajas, and rajas backed up by sattva. That alone is possible. Therefore, with the fourth one, the fourth combination is, four combinations are over. Therefore, there is no fifth combination. Why not the fifth? You cannot ask. It is impossible. So, sattva, rajas, tamas, three gunas, and four manogunas, four types of the fourth way the disposition of the mind, which can be seen. We will see how it is, why it is said, why it is four. Why, you may ask, can tamas, yeah, this question is asked here. Why can't tamas, rajas, tamas backed up by sattva, rajas, or sattva backed up by tamas? Why these two extremes? No, that cannot be. Rajas not be fifth or sixth combination. By looking at each of these gunas involved, we shall see why only four varnas or four groups of people are possible when the division is based on their guna. Guna vibhagashaha. So based on guna, we divide. Not we divide, it is division is there, and division is created by Ishvara. So there is no fifth or sixth disposition. So what is sattva, what is tamas, what is rajas? Yes, you'll see a small description. Sattva stands for any type of thinking. Therefore, thinking is involved. Any type of thinking. Therefore, knowledge. Knowledge, tranquility, peace of mind, shanti. That is sattva. Rajas stands for action, activity. Therefore, free will, desire, raga, desha, etc. Everything comes under rajas. And tamas stands for dullness, inertia, slothfulness, inactivity. That is tamas. So contemplativeness, knowledge, inquiry, silence, shanti, and the disciplines, shama, dhamma, etc. They're all sattva. So if a person is sattvika, means he is disciplined. Discipline is found in a person in whom rajas is predominant. Discipline meaning discipline is in terms of action, disciplined action. But there will be a lot of but there are also will be a lot of ambition, energy, enthusiasm along with it. So therefore, action is there. Therefore, just tamas is certain dullness, lethargy, laziness. So everyone is a combination of these three. Everyone has these three gunas. The manifestation of these gunas in every person is found in a day. When the person goes to sleep, even though the person may be a sattvika, in the sleep, rajas is dominant. Without rajas, the person cannot go to sleep. Similarly, when the person studies, studying knowledge is involved. Therefore, it should be sattvika. Mind should be sattvika to understand what he studies. Similarly, when it comes to action, work, there rajas has to be there. Energy is involved. Action is involved. Therefore, rajas. So for three gunas are invariably seen in the person. All the three are there in a person. And we have seen the combinations can vary. Babies, for example, the born babies are generally they sleep. They sleep almost most of the time. Therefore, tamas is dominant, backed by rajas and sattva. Tamas being dominant, they sleep most of the time. As they get older, rajas predominates. When it starts working, then rajas is dominates. That's why they are uncontrollable, always doing something. They just dominates and they become very active. And finally, when they are grown, we expect them to be sattvika. Yes, we expect them to be sattvika. So tamas is dominant as a baby, and when they become the kid, then rajas, and when they grow up, expected to be sattvika, expected. That is only expectation, but all are not all are sattvika. The four groups of people according to guna. Now, four types of guna, for mental disposition we have seen. Therefore, four groups of people according to this monoguna, SRT, TRS, TSR, and RST. That for whatever the four we have seen. The Sattva Rajas Tamas composition is a very beautiful description of a person's inner composition, mental composition. The person can be predominantly contemplative, a thinking person, because of certain things are evident to him or her. So therefore, the philosophers, scientists, researchers, teachers, students also, they're all in them. Sattva is dominant. Any emotionally mature person, any inquirer, a philosopher, anyone who thinks predominantly about fundamental values, the ends in life, and so on, is a natural combination of Sattva, Rajas, Tamas in that order. In such a person, Sattva is predominant, backed up by Rajas, the second place, and Tamas, third place. This is one type of person. So under this only comes the scientists, researchers, teachers. So where thinking is involved, their occupation, the job, profession involves thinking. Second type will naturally have Rajas predominant. When Rajas is predominant, Rajas stands for action, ambition, energy, enthusiasm. The second can be, the first is Rajas. Rajas is dominant. The second can be either Sattva or Tamas. Rajas being the middle can be backed up by Sattva or Tamas. Now, Rajas is predominant. Rajas is very active, fired by certain ambition. When this ambition is directed to the welfare of others and to certain ideals, that is when the person is unselfish, is doing some dharma karya, involved in noble actions, because it's backed up by sattva. Therefore, the actions are directed for the welfare of others. Noble actions. There's a lot of thinking involved. Therefore, sattva is in the second place. Therefore, the person's enthusiasm and actions are directed for the welfare of others. And therefore, person's enthusiasm and action being backed up by thinking. Such people are generally become good leaders. The world needs such leaders. Rajas backed up by sattva. That he alone is a leader. He alone could be a good leader. There are other leaders also, but a leader is one who has tamas, who has rajas backed up by sattva. So rajas backed up by thinking. Thinking is involved. The leader should be a thinking person. So rajas backed up by sattvas, and tamas is least. Then we have third group of people, those who are always active. Rajas is dominant, but tamas it is backed up by tamas. Tamas is less dominant, sattva is least. We have third group of people who are always active, having rajas predominant, but who have tamas rather than sattva in the second place. So rajas backed up by tamas and sattva is least. Therefore, RTS, third group. This means there is ambition, but ambition is not backed up by thinking, not backed up by knowledge. Ambition rather than thinking behind their actions. An example of ambition without thinking is when someone goes after money, power, or whatever without any consideration for the others. That is selfishness. Selfish people. Selfish people are those who have, in them you can see sattva backed up by tamas, selfish people. Because such a person who also has some sattva, some thinking capacity, though least, he or she will not only be very active, but also maybe very clever, very intelligent. But because tamas is dominant over sattva, there will be a lot of scheming, manipulation, exploitation of others. This sattva is there, therefore he also will enjoy certain thinking capacity. But rajas is dominant, backed up by tamas, therefore tamas is there, therefore they are selfish people, and there will be a lot of exploitation, manipulation, etc. in them. Now, if on the other hand, sattva is backing up the rajas, there will be consideration for the other people. There will be respect for life and for wealth and for the freedom of others. Whereas tamas backed up by rajas, there is only disrespect for the dharma, meaning there will be no regard for others. So sattva backing up rajas. So RS means there will be consideration for others. That's why unselfish people, they really work for others. They follow dharma, etc. Whereas when tamas backs up rajas, then what happens? There will be disrespect for dharma. There will be adharmic. For such a person, the individual ambition is most important, even at the cost of others. And he or she becomes a despot. Rajas being dominant, such people also become world leaders, dangerous leaders. If they don't become leaders, only their families and perhaps the neither suffer. Whereas if they assume world leadership roles, finish, the result will be devastating. The fourth type of person now, which is dominant, tamas is dominant. Wherein tamas predominates, presents no such problem. Tamas is dominant, so therefore inertia, dullness. So dullness, prominence, unintelligent. They are unintelligent people. Therefore, what can they do? They will do only what they are asked to do. They will not think. At worst, these people are small-time criminals. At best, some simple employees. Small-time criminals. And at best, some simple employees. They are employed because they do what they are asked to do. No thinking involved. Not out of any real contentment or anything, but simply because of dullness. Such people have no ambition whatsoever. Not even to make money. In fact, they've already decided that they cannot make money. If I could make money, I would have made it long ago, they will say. And to justify the laziness they had, who needs money anyway? And if such a person has a little ambition for something, he or she will not work to make it happen, will compromise at every turn. This then is what is meant by dullness. So therefore, for this type of people in whom tamas is dominant, backed up by rajas, and then sattva is least dominant. If a tamas rajas sattva person, TRS, wants to become sattva rajas tamas. Tamas is dominant and sattva is least. If this person wants to become SRT, sattva is dominant and tamas is least, then what he has to do? He or she has to become, what is the ladder? What is the next step? First he has to bring the rajas to the first place. He should become rajas tamas sattva. He cannot immediately jump from sattva, cannot jump to the first place. First, the rajas has to go to the first place. Rajas, first he should be active. From inactive, he has to become active. So therefore, rajas, that's why karma yoga. Why karma yoga? Even for a dull-minded. First he has to do karma, then chitta shuddhi, then only sattva. So he has to become rajas, rajasic. So rajas, tamas, and sattva. Then after that, Then sattva can be put second. Rajas, sattva, tamas. Now, rajas backed up by sattva, backed up by tamas. Finally, now sattva can occupy the first position. That is jnanam. Sattva, rajas, tamas. So, from being a dull-witted person to a karma yogi, rajas, tamas, sattva. Then rajas backed up by tamas. That is done by karma yoga. From tamas, rajas, sattva to you should become a rajasic person. First, you should become a karmi. First, you get engaged in action. Even if it's selfish, doesn't matter. First, from being a dull-witted person to an energetic person to an ambitious person, first he has to desire. First, he has to become a karmi. Then after that, become a karma yogi. Then he becomes fit for jnanam. Finally, sattva, rajas, tamas. In fact, sattva, rajas, tamas, this combination is aspired by all the seekers. This is what is gained. This mental disposition is what is gained by karma yoga. There is no jumping possible here. From tamas, rajas, sattva, one cannot jump to sattva, rajas, tamas. There is a sequence, there's a gradation. It is impossible. 4 to 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1. 4 to 1 is not possible. Immediately you cannot jump from 4 to 1. From sattva, rajas, sattva to tamas, rajas, sattva to rajas, tamas, sattva. That stands for karma, karmi. Karma done with desires. Desire prompted activities. It does karma propelled by the karma which is propelled by is the desires for the karma pala. So it is karma. Then he becomes a karma yogi. There also karma is there, but backed by sattva knowledge of Ishvara. So he becomes a karma yogi. So antakarna shuddhi. He also does karma for antakarna shuddhi. Sattva rajas tamas sattva does karma for fulfillment of desires. It does kami karma, etc. for fulfillment of desires, whereas rajas sattva tamas does karma for antakarna shuddhi. Jnana yogyata praptyartham. Then only becomes fit for jnanam. He gains a mental disposition, sattva, rajas, tamas. This is the order. So, as a seeker, everyone aspires for sattva, rajas, tamas. There is no jumping possible. It is a process involving growth. And this is what this maturity is all about. This is also what we mean by karma yoga, whereby one matures by doing karma with a karma yoga attitude. That is why spirituality is not for a dull-witted person. First, he has to become active, work. He has to work. He should work and fulfill. He should have desires, first of all. Shastra, in fact, engages desire. One should have desires. Nothing wrong in entertaining desires, as long as the desires are in keeping with dharma. So one should have desire as a privilege. Dull-witted person must have desire and work for fulfillment of desires. Selfish desires, nothing wrong. That's a growth for that person. But one should not stop. He has to grow to be an unselfish person. That is karma yoga. The karma with the attitude, the same karma he does, but does with the attitude of yoga. That becomes Ishwararpana. That becomes Ishvara Puja, Ishwararpana Buddhi, and Ishvara Prasada Buddhi. Finally, only Jnanam. For that, only the Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, that mental disposition is required and has to grow to be that person. So, up to Rajas, Tamas, Sattva, growth is simply a matter of performing karma, pursuing one's end according to one dharma. So, one has to follow dharma and just do karma, fulfill the desires. Only when one performs karma with the attitude of karma yoga, then only does the person become sattva, rajas, tamas. This is a person who can become a sannyasi. Any other combination, if a person has and becomes sannyasi, that becomes a problem. So only who enjoys his mental disposition, sattva, rajas, tamas, he alone is fit to become a sannyasi. Shades of difference exist within each of these groups. For example, Sattva, Tamas, Rajas, Tamas, Sattva can be a criminal or just an ambitious salesperson. Rajas is their active action backed up by Tamas, therefore he could be a criminal. If he does karma against the order, against dharma, can be criminal, or just could be an ambitious salesperson, for example. When the latter invites you into his or her place of business with a smile, you may end up paying for the smile too, because he's a selfish person. He's interested in making money. There's a rank selfishness in this type of person that makes him or her convert every action into dollars and cents. Rajas, Tamas, Sattva people can follow either dharma or adharma, shades of difference being there. So they can do dharma or adharma. Rajas, who can do adharma? Rajas, Tamas, Sattva people. They follow either dharma or adharma. Once you reach Rajas, Sattva, Tamas, you cannot follow adharma. You will automatically follow dharma, because Sattva is thinking. Sattva meaning thinking, knowledge. A thinking person, a rational person, a sensible person cannot violate dharma. So Rajas, therefore, who does adharma is this Rajas, Tamas, Sattva people does dharma, adharma. And whereas Rajas, Sattva, Tamas, or Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, those people naturally follow dharma. They automatically follow dharma. It's a beautiful shloka. Swamiji interprets very excellently. We'll stop here. We'll continue. Next topic, the universality of the fourfold division. Next class. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Dhanyavadaha.